All right, guys. So with Disney Plus out and Netflix and Hulu and movie theaters and movies in general.
Oh, you beat me to it.
So what are some of the best endings to movies you guys have ever witnessed in your lifetime?
That is a lot of pressure.
It is.
Like all our life.
All your life.
Oh.
Like from Blue's Clues, figuring out the 3 clues. To movies today.
It's like spot on.
I'll go first.
Who are you?
Oh, Devin. Nice to meet you.
My name is Devin, and
One of the best movie endings I seen recently, well, just kind of a couple of years ago, was Get Out at the end. At the end where he's fighting with the family and the police show up in a certain situation where you see blood on the person, the other one saying, "Oh, help me," even though that she was trying to kill him. It was the friend. It was the friend that came in the police car. It's like, "I got your back, dog. Let's get out of here." And everyone really had a happy ending because a lot of stuff like that in real life does not happen. So I thought that was really good.
that movie was wild.
That was a crazy movie. Yeah. So that's what stuck out to you, right? It's just what stuck out to you? What was the main reason why that was such a great movie?
Oh, because you just feel like he would have gotten arrested. Like no one believed him. Like his friend. Well, no one believed his friend, as in his friend kept going to police saying, "Hey, my friend is being brainwashed. I need you to help him." No one believed him. He was in a situation where he was going to be brainwashed and just kind of be a like a puppet.
No, I don't know what.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
So just the fact, he kind of got out of it.
He got away with it, but not necessarily get away with it because he really didn't do anything wrong. It was self-defense. But in that situation, the police wanted to see it as self-defense because someone is screaming like "help, help, help," and he's killed a whole bunch of people. But it was really self-defense.
So I think the point you're trying to make is like all signs pointed to him getting arrested, getting in trouble.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
there's a twist at the end where it's the friend, not the cops that come and save him essentially.
Exactly.
It's a good twist.
Thank you.
That was a good twist. Do you think in reality, like, how much would that friend really have helped him? Because the friend was just a TSA agent,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Exactly.
So, like, in reality, like, cops would have gone there eventually and been like, "Hey, who killed all these people?"
Yep. So then they're gonna know that he went there with her, like he was his girlfriend
Yes.
or her boyfriend. Sorry.
So, like, in reality, he probably ended up in jail anyways.
That's all right, but that's how the movie ended. That's how the movie ended.
That's
no
what we know.
cliffhangers.
We know. We don't know what happened afterwards.
He's like-
there's a giant cliffhanger because in reality, we don't really know what happened.
He's like,
afterwards.
credits rolled. That's all that mattered.
That's
Done.
the end of the story. There's nothing that happened afterwards. It's impossible to reimagine
It is all good. Okay, what about you, man, Salou?
Oh, mine feels terrible now that you did like a really deep one with Get Out. Mine is the ending from This Is the End. I don't know if anybody remembers that movie.
I remember that movie, but I don't 100% remember.
Okay,
the
I
so-
know why.
Yes, I grew up in the
Oh,
90s.
I remember that.
I grew up in the 90s where boy bands were huge, and I was a fan of Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. That was a thing. I still jam their stuff. I'm not afraid to admit that. And that movie ends with them in heaven, right? Which is super cool. So you got Seth Rogen. Man, what is his name?
Craig
The friend?
Robertson?
Craig Robertson. What is the friend's name though?
Franco?
Jay.
Oh.
Jay.
Butcher?
Yeah, exactly. And they're in heaven, and they can wish for anything they want. They can ask for anything, and they're all asking for crazy things like segways and stuff like that. And it gets really quiet, and you hear the beat drop, and like the hand comes out, and it's the freaking Backstreet Boys singing. Man, I can't remember the name of the song. That's terrible. I'm a fan too. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to me, that was such a cool ending. I thought that was so dope. I was like, this movie's amazing. It's super cheesy and super funny, but like I thought it was such a cool ending because you didn't expect that, right? They're in heaven, they can wish for whatever, and like Jay's like, boom, Backstreet Boys. Like that's what he wants to hear. So it was super cool. That's why I like it.
They're all dancing like every.
Yes, it's a full like number. Yeah, it was super cool.
I like how you said, "Well, I was born in the '90s." They
Yeah.
were all born in the '90s.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's always my excuse to admit why I like the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Like, you like that stuff? I'm like, yeah, I grew up in the 90s, man. Get over it.
Buddy, you don't need no excuse. You can like the Backstreet Boys.
Well, okay, I mean, yeah,
No,
but
no, you don't need an excuse.
I feel you.
You
Thank you,
encourage
buddy. You
it.
made me feel better about it.
Okay.
Patrick's hiding.
That was hiding from your Backstreet Boys. The guy look a little bit less of Mason now.
Because once you hear Patrick's deep one.
Yeah, see, that's why I
But I'll go next
mine's not
because
deep.
mine is not that deep either. I don't have a specific one. I'm just gonna go with I really like movies with twists. But at the very end it has to end very happily. So they're happy endings. Nobody dies in these movies. They're just happy. Those are the kind of movies that I like.
So how is it a twist?
Well, like there could be like a twist in the middle of it, but then they make up and then everybody's happy and then they end peacefully.
like a rom-com.
Yes. Whatever.
We just watched a movie the other day on Netflix that had a really good twist, but it was such a bummer because in like the trailer, we watched the trailer to see if it was good, showed the twist.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was so
what?
weird.
Yes, it's such a massive twist too,
Yeah.
and it shows it in the trailer. And I was like, surely there has to be like another twist on top of the twist because there's no way. Nope, that was it. And you're just like, man, this might have been a really good movie if I just never watched the trailer. It was super weird.
They ruined it all.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Like the
Who
whole
puts a twist in
twist.
the trailer?
Yes,
We probably
the
would've
twist
fallen
is in
for it.
Yeah, we would have because
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking like we even talked about it before. Would I have fallen? I probably would have. It was just so weird to like throw that in the trailer.
Hey,
It was
what movie is
super
this?
weird. It's My Secret Obsession. My Secret Obsession on Netflix. It's actually a good movie, so just watch it.
The
Don't
chick
watch
from
it. Yeah.
know.
Don't
the
watch the
chick from
trailer.
the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yes, that's where she's from.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. That's a good
Uh-huh.
movie. You should actually check
Don't
it
watch
out.
I'm
the
gonna check it
trailer.
out.
Just watch the movie.
Wait, is
I've
that
seen
the
it a bunch
one?
of times on there.
She's she got into a car accident.
Yes.
Yep.
We don't have to go into Devin's
Gotcha.
long backstory, but yes.
His notorious
we,
backstories.
we have simply said that it was My Secret Obsession. Devin's like, oh yeah, that was 1998. Was based off of a movie. Did y'all see
That was off a
1993?
book?
That was yes.
Oh, I wanted to make sure if that
Have you
was the
seen
trailer. I seen the trailer.
Oh,
My
good.
sister's
Don't-
watched some of it, but I haven't watched it because it was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
Don't
movie.
watch
I'm
the
gonna check it
trailer.
out.
Just watch the movie.
Yeah, just go and watch it.
Don't
It's a
watch
good
the
movie.
trailer.
It's actually a good movie. Either way, but it's way better if you don't watch the trailer.
Yes.
All right, so I got two. Right.
No pressure.
My first one, all right, because I actually like twist endings, right? And I think one movie that had one of the greatest twist endings of all time, and I feel like it started the twist endings of twist endings, was The Sixth Sense. You remember The Sixth Sense?
Yep.
Yes.
You go throughout the whole entire movie thinking like one thing, and then Bruce Willis is like, "I'm dead too." Right. I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, like that twist at the end was like so like you would have never guessed it. Like it was creative, right? And it kind
Yeah.
of started. You see a lot of twists in movies now. You almost kind of expect it when you go to movies.
Exactly.
So I feel like that kind of started. At least that's one of the earliest movies I can remember, and it had one of the biggest twists of all time. So that's one of my all-time favorite endings to every movie. Things I like in movies are like symbolism, right? I really like, which is why we always argue about the Batman versus Superman Martha thing. I take that differently as you see it literally. I
hated
see
that
it more
scene.
symbolically, right? But I really love symbolism in movies, right? Because to me, like that's what out of everything that translates books into movies, that's one thing that they should go hand in hand, right? Books have a lot of symbolism in them, and a person who can make a really great movie should have the exact same symbolism as well, right? So one of my favorite endings of all time is the Fast and Furious movie, the one where I think it's number 7,
Where he drives off.
He drives off, right? But that whole scene collectively, when he's like on the beach and they're kind of sitting there, because I guess you
Yes.
tie it in from what happened in real life, right? So he's sitting there and they're kind of seeing him live his life, with his child. And like from a movie standpoint, it obviously symbolizes that he's moving on from the group, right? He's starting his family. He's doing something because the whole movie's based off of family, right? And he's starting his own family, right? And then from a real life scenario, you kind of see them being able to kind of let him go, right? And then of course you have the very famous, they're getting in a car and they're driving away, and he kind of pulls up and gets to kind of see him for one last time. And then again symbolically, they're driving down the road and the road kind of splits off, and because that they're kind of going their two separate ways. To me, it was one of the greatest endings of all time in any movie, just because of how they play tribute to the character and how they play tribute to the actor.
Yeah.
I don't think you see that much in movies. Like when something like that happens, you don't get to see them play tribute in both ways.
Yeah.
And they let his character go amazingly, and they kind of let the actor go. And so, yeah.
What I liked the part at the beach whenever he's playing with whenever he's with his wife and his kid, everyone's just looking at him but we just see their face. It's kind of like they're having their moment
Mm-hmm.
to say goodbye, which they really get in real life. But that was kind of the moment. Like,
Yeah, it was like
this is
their
it.
character being able to say goodbye to his character, and that's what was so crazy to me. Because you're right, they got to say it in person, or not in person, but they got to say it in real life, like their goodbyes individually. But it was almost like it was like Vin Diesel's character Toretto was getting able to say goodbye to not only Paul Walker but to his character O'Brien. So I think it was kind of cool. Like it was, I don't know, it's one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Literally one of the greatest symbolism. That whole entire scene is like just filled with pure symbolism. I think it's really cool.
I thought of a movie that I liked the way they ended.
Go for it.
So I don't remember which one it's called, but one of the superhero movies. I like the way they ended it, where everybody dissolved, and so it left you hanging.
One of the
Infinity
greatest
War?
superheroes
Infinity
of all
Yes,
time.
Infinity
I like it.
War. There we go.
Yes.
I like the way they ended that movie because it left you hanging. So movies that leave you like suspense, like what's gonna happen
Cliffhangers.
next. I
That
like
is
that
super
one.
funny because I thought of that too, right? But I thought of it almost a different ending because it ends with Thanos kind of sitting on a rock, looking out, right? And it's because he was like mission accomplished.
Yes.
This is it. So you kind of feel his like ooh swah, like this is it. But then at the same time, you as the audience is like, oh my god, like what is happening?
Yeah.
You're left on a
Yeah.
cliffhanger, but at the same time, you're kind of left on like ooh swah, like he made
He's
it, right? So
satisfied.
you're kind
Yeah.
of argumenting inside. So it's like the little angel and little devil on your shoulders, and you're kind of like, what's going on?
It's something that we're not used to, like the villain winning. The villain won. He got what he wanted, and everyone that you love and you watch this whole time just disappears. At least half of them. And you're like, what are we supposed to do now for a year? I'm waiting for this next move for a year. Like, it's crazy.
That was terrible. One I thought about too was remember Hell or High Water?
I remember that movie, but I don't really remember the ending.
So the ending, remember the brother goes up and he has the cops chase him up into the mountains and he starts sniping the cops while the other brother gets away with
Oh,
the money
right.
to save the farm or the ranch or whatever it is.
Okay, I do remember.
And then at the very end, the sheriff whose partner died shows up at the guy's house and kind of confronts him about, hey, look, I know what you did basically, and I'm gonna get you. Like I'm gonna
find you
I'm gonna
somehow.
find you somehow. You're gonna slip up and I'm gonna get you. And that's how the movie ends basically. So same
Yeah.
thing kind of ends on a cliffhanger too.
That was such a good movie because we went in there with no expectations. 'Cause
Yes.
Remember, we just we're like, hey, what's showing? Hell
It
or
was-
High Water.
yes.
What is that? I don't know. Let's do it. And it was like a super good movie.
It was such a good movie. I've watched that again, and actually recently, and it's still held up. I was like, oh man, I love this movie.